They were thrown into fire 7 times hotter than normal. The soldiers who threw them in died from the heat, but inside the flames, something impossible was happening. 4 figures were walking, and the 4th looked like a son of the gods. Babylon, the greatest empire the world had ever seen. King Nebuchadnezzar built a statue of gold 90 feet tall, and he gave one command: when the music plays, everyone must bow. Anyone who refuses will be thrown into the fiery furnace. Everyone bowed, everyone, except 3 young Hebrew men named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They knew the cost, death by fire, but they also knew something else. Their God was the only true God, and they would not bow to gold. They would not bow to a king who thought he was divine. They stood alone in a sea of prostrate bodies. Jealous officials saw their chance. They ran to the king with accusations. "These Jews you promoted over us," they said. "They refuse to worship your gods or bow to your golden statue."
Worship the statue.
What? Bring them to me.
The king gave them one more chance: bow now or burn. Their answer would echo through eternity: "We do not need to defend ourselves. If we are thrown into the fire, the God we serve is able to deliver us. But even if he does not, we want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship your golden statue." The king's face turned dark with rage. "Heat the furnace 7 times
king,
hotter."
We do not need to defend ourselves. The God we serve is able to save us from the blazing furnace.
Heat the furnace. Heat it 7 times hotter than it has ever been heated before.
More wood! The king demands it hotter!
The oil is catching fast. Get back from the heat.
They were bound in their robes. The strongest soldiers carried them up. The furnace was so hot that those soldiers died just from the heat near the door. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the flames. The king watched, expecting screams. But there were no screams. Instead, he saw something that made him leap from his throne. The ropes burned away, but the men did not. They stood up, they walked, and they were not alone. A 4th figure appeared in the flames, glowing with light that outshone the fire. The king shouted, "Were not 3 men thrown in? I see 4 walking unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." The Son of God had entered the fire with his faithful servants. He did not deliver them from the fire. He joined them in it. The flames could not touch them because they were already in the hands of the one who created fire. The king called them out. They walked from the furnace. Not a hair singed, not a thread burned, not even the smell of smoke on them.
Hallelujah! We praise your name, for you have saved us from the flame.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out!
Look!
The king who commanded worship of his statue now proclaimed the God of Israel.
And the fire
The men
has
who were
done them
condemned
no
to die
harm.
were promoted to power. But the greatest miracle was not the fire that did not burn. It was the presence of God in the midst of the flames. 3 young men refused to bow, because they knew that even if God did not save them, he was still worth serving. That is faith. not knowing if God will deliver you from the fire, but knowing He is worth serving even if He does not. What fire are you facing today? What impossible situation demands you bow? Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? The fire cannot destroy what God has decided to protect, and sometimes He meets us in the flames.
The fire couldn't touch them because they already belonged to the one who made fire.